Hey, what? Hello there. Do I see a bunny girl rupee skin? Did you fork out $80 for that? Because that's what I remember. Just the I'm a disgusting individual who forked money for that, but I got her on my 8th trust. Okay, so you didn't have to pay like full price per se. The whole $80 yards. That's nice. I still question, yeah, it's still expensive. Like, regardless, that is very much expensive. Either way, comparative to every other. Whoops. Comparative to every other skin. In essence, you paid for 3 skins, but only got 1, which is like, holy shooters! Like, come on, bro. There was no need for rupee skin to be that expensive. Let alone, like, tied to this ridiculous gacha thing as well. Like, and you know what was also sort of this deceiving as well? Like, granted, there was 1 free pull, and the expectation is that even on the 1 free pull, you could still possibly get it right. No. You have to draw 5 tickets first before you get the chance to pull for the skin. Like you that's not cool. That's not cool. Not even your free pull does not give you the chance to get this skin at all. There have been other gachas that did something similar. I'm thinking mostly Tower Fantasy, because Tower Fantasy comes to mind immediately. Who did something like this, but at the very least, you had the chance to get him even on your free pull. But in this regard, no, you don't. You do not. It's not listed. It's not part of it. You have to do 5 pulls to get the skin, at least get the chance to get the skin. Like, no, you can't do this. That's not consumer friendly at all. I mean, they can do it, but like, you're not gonna get good rep for that. That's for sure. 2F and Nikke has the same publishers. They are both under Level Infinite, to my recollection, but it's 2 different studios. Ultimately, Shift Up and I forget Tower Fantasy's developers. But they're both under Level Infinite. But yeah, this is not cool. Like, Shift Up, if you happen to see this, you probably won't, but you don't need me, a nobody, to tell you that this is not cool. Like, 100%, this is not cool. Whoever thought this was a good idea, you better fire them from your team right now. Because you should, if you're gonna do something like this, which I cross my fingers that you're not gonna do this again in the future, your free ticket should still have the chance to drop this skin. Yeah, I would suspect that Level Infinite, aka Tencent, having a hand in this decision. Maybe they didn't want to do it, but because they're under them, they kind of have to. But like, still, like, man, like one person said, I remember seeing on the Reddit and stuff, like, we're not angry. I am slightly, but we're mostly disappointed. We're really just disappointed with this. This should have not been the case in the first place. And it doesn't help that they made changes to this last second too. So I've heard. as well. There was supposed to be like a unique shooting pose as well, but it just very much looks like the same shooting pose that Rupee has always had and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just disappointing, unfortunately. Like, but if they do it again, then that really calls for some issues, man. Like, this idea, no good, no buenos. Don't do it again. Like, they should never do this again. But if they're going to, don't do this. Do not do this. We'll begin dropping after the 5th drop. Don't do this. This is not a good look. It just seems way more greedy than it already is. I would say I would let it pass. I got Cooper baited. But they're destroying their goodwill. Yeah, exactly. That's what this ultimately does. This hurts their goodwill. Shift Up has already gotten a good reputation amongst the gacha community. But this, like, I don't mean to over-exaggerate, but this has tainted their goodwill, unfortunately. There's a reason why the Reddit was ablaze for a bit in regards to this skin. And I hate that it only takes one small mistake to really set a community on fire. I kind of wish that wasn't the case. I feel like in general people should have semi-thicker skins in regards to this, but if it calls for it, I think I understand. But it is how it is, unfortunately, and people are more like wary and concerned and very much more perceptive of like greedy practices by publishers, because the mobile market was for sure the first people to do this sort of thing, sort of like greedy practice. But it only took the AAA scene to follow suit for us to become way more aware of this than it is now. Than if we were like years ago. So like, it's sad. Like, it's sad that you could lose goodwill with the community this easily. Like, I still have very much faith in Shift Up and everyone associated with it, sort of. But I'm not totally peeved by this. I may sound like it, but I'm not super peeved. But it's just like, yeah, just disappointed. Like, the shame. Yeah. So ultimately, I prefer if they don't do this again. Just release the skin normally, set price and everything. But if they're gonna do this again, do not make this the norm. Do not make this the norm. Having to do 5 draws first when you only get 1 free ticket. Like, don't make that the norm. We should not be making that the norm in this community. The patch hasn't ended yet, but I will forgive them if they give a new burst animation, a new combat pose to the skin. Like, that's what I'm just asking for those who paid for it, but hopefully in the future they don't do it again. Yeah, exactly. Like, live up to what you promised to as well. Because if they're still working on it, but they had to release it early, fine, fair game. That's fair game. It doesn't excuse, though, that they technically did still lie to you, the paying customer, that they did this. Like, you can't really dice it, unfortunately. I suppose they just wanted to test the water and see how far they can go if they cross the line. I think now people would be okay for a $20 skin. Yeah, I think at this point, in terms of skins, we've had many skins already that pass by us. FOMO is already hitting pretty hard for, I guessing, a good majority of the community now at this point. $20 is a fair price to pay at this point. I imagine initially people were like, this is way too expensive. But as they kept going, stuck with their price point, people just kind of got used to it and just said, alright, sure. If that's what you're asking for across the entire board, I will pay for $20. I will pay $20 for this skin. But yeah, maybe it is also that they're just testing the waters. I just hope the community has been vocal enough, which I assume they have, considering Reddit. But I don't know how active the devs or whoever is associated is actually looking in the Reddit forums, or maybe any other socials that can give any sort of indication to what sort of backlash this paid gacha has had, but we will see. Now they've seen the worst price for a skin, and so now they would now be willing to go for that. Yeah, exactly. That's sort of like a reinforcement at that point. But again, we shouldn't be encouraging this. That's the thing that we as the community should be avoiding. We should not encourage this. Just overall. This quality to the skins, heck yes, absolutely. Keep stepping it up. If you need to charge just a little bit more because the quality is going up, understandable. But not like this. Just not like this. Not like this.